welcome to the deep dive. You know, travel's changing. It seems like people are looking for more than just, well, sightseeing these days. They want connection, maybe impact.
That's right.
And today, we're digging into the Halal Travel Trends 2025 report. It's got this framework, ID responsible, immersive, digital assured. Sounds pretty comprehensive.
It is. And for today's conversation, we're really going to zero in on that first one. R for responsible.
Okay, responsible. So what's our mission with this one?
Well, the goal is really to unpack how travel can actually be a force for good. We're talking about moving beyond just, do no harm.
Right, not just avoiding damage.
Exactly. It's about actively contributing, making sure your trip aligns with your values, and genuinely benefits the places you visit. Active contribution.
Okay, so let's unpack that term then. Responsible tourism. What does it really mean today? Is there a shift happening?
There absolutely is. It's not just about minimizing your footprint anymore. The shift is towards actively enhancing the environment and making sure local communities see real benefits.
Enhancing, not just preserving.
Precisely. It means being aware ethically, socially, culturally, environmentally in, well, pretty much every choice you make while traveling.
And you're saying this is becoming more mainstream.
Oh, definitely. It's becoming the new standard, really. Part of that is, I think, a growing general awareness about the impacts of tourism, both good and bad.
Social media probably plays a role too.
Huge role. Advocating for conscious travel, showing what it looks like. And frameworks like the Halal Trip Responsible Tourism one, they really connect these practices directly to core values for many travelers, like sustainability and respect within the Muslim community, and makes it personal.
That makes sense. It grounds it. So for you listening, what does this actually mean in practice? What are travelers prioritizing when they think about being responsible?
Great question. A recent survey gave us some clues. The top priority, it seems about 33%, is educational and awareness initiatives.
Okay, so learning before and during the trip.
Yeah, basically empowering travelers, giving them tips on cultural sensitivity, environmental conservation, how to genuinely support local communities, that sort of thing.
And what came next?
Second, at 26%, was sustainable and ethical practices. This is more about the actions like choosing local businesses, ensuring wildlife encounters are ethical, cutting down on waste, tangible stuff.
Right, the practical side.
And then at 23%, community-based tourism. This is really key, making sure the money you spend directly benefits local people. It leads to more authentic experiences too, and helps preserve culture.
It all sounds good in theory, but how does this actually play out, on the ground? Are destinations managing this well?
Well, it varies, of course,
Yeah.
but take something like over-tourism. That's a huge challenge.
We hear a lot about that.
Yeah, and we are seeing more collaboration between governments and the industry trying to balance the economic pluses with protecting the local quality of life. Think of Bali getting stricter on hotel construction or Copenhagen pushing public transport.
So concrete measures are being taken.
They are, and importantly, these actions often align really well with those underlying values of ethical tourism and community well-being we talked about.
Now, you mentioned enhancing, not just sustaining. There's this term, regenerative tourism. It sounds like a step beyond.
It is. It's quite ambitious, actually. The idea isn't just to sustain a place, but to actively restore it, to leave it healthier than you found it.
Wow. How realistic is that?
It's gaining traction because, look, it often creates deeper community connections and unique experiences that people value highly. Think about responsible animal interactions, not feeding or touching, just observing ethically, or even participating in restoration projects.
Like planting trees or cleaning up a beach.
Exactly. Things that resonate quite deeply with, faith traditions about stewardship. And this ethical approach extends everywhere, even to food.
Food. How so?
We're seeing the rise of the ethical diner, people making food choices based on values, animal welfare, environmental impact, social justice, transparency in the supply chain.
Okay, I see the connection.
And for many, this aligns perfectly with concepts like halal and tayyib, which aren't just about what you eat, but the whole process, the integrity, the purity from farm to plate.
And transportation fits in here too.
Absolutely. Sustainable mobility. It's all about encouraging greener options, electric vehicles, yes, but also just good old public transport, bikes, scooters, micromobility.
Little changes making a difference.
Right. And framing these choices through those values of stewardship, maybe moderation, it empowers you, the traveler, to cut your ecological footprint. It feels meaningful.
It's interesting how even disconnecting can be seen as responsible now.
Yeah, unplugged adventures, digital detoxes, they offer that space for well-being, reconnecting with nature, yourself, maybe your faith. It aligns with values like mindfulness, balance, spiritual renewal. It's about restoring yourself, too.
So bring it all together. This responsible element really seems to weave through everything. It connects with being immersive, like with community tourism, and digital tools can actually help.
Definitely. Things like halal travel apps or AI tools, they can make it easier for you to find those eco-friendly options or community projects. Tech as an enabler for responsibility.
So at the end of the day, responsible tourism is really about traveling with purpose, isn't it?
That's a great way to put it. Purposeful travel, ensuring your journeys leave a positive mark, showing respect for cultures, valuing the environment.
Okay, so as we wrap up, maybe a final thought for you listening.
Yeah, maybe just this. As you plan your next trip, big or small, just pause and think what's one small intentional choice you could make. One thing that can make your travel experience a bit more responsible, more meaningful, both for you and for the place you're visiting.